WQEE 99.1 FM The Key, home of Southern sports and talk. Noonan, Sharpsburg, Franklin. The views and opinions of this show and program are not the views and opinions of this station, its management, or its clientele.
Hey y'all, you're listening to the Raven in Real Life radio show and podcast on WQEE 99.1 FM The Key, the heartbeat of Metro Atlanta. Hey you guys, welcome back to the Raven in Real Life radio show and podcast. I am your host, Raven. And if you're not already, please make sure that you subscribe to all the Raven in Real Life social media pages. It's Raven in Real Life all the way across the board. So please connect with me, message me if there's anything that you want us to talk about on this show. But let's go ahead and jump on into it. Let's get into episode 2. Today I have my good friend, Robin Button. So Robin, thank you for doing this with me.
Thank you for having me, Raven.
Thank you. Now, I asked you specifically to come onto this with me because we have a lot of conversations. We talk about self-improvement and just trying to live more happy, healthy, exciting lives all the time. And recently, you've been talking to me a lot about manifestation that you're trying to do and the affirmations that you're giving yourself in the mornings. So can you just walk me through that? What exactly it is that you're doing these days that's a little bit different and how it has affected your life recently?
Raven, I've basically just tried to cut the noise down in my life a little bit. Mm-hmm. We're just surrounded all the time and bombarded with so much stuff out in the world. And I think sometimes we bring it in personally and we give ourselves a negative thought or a negative subconscious feeling about who we are. And I've decided to stop doing that. I decided to turn down the noise, and every morning when I get up, I'm saying something good about me. There are good things about each of us, and I'm just trying to point out my good things. I get up in the morning, I look in the mirror, I tell myself, you're strong, you're capable, you're intelligent, you're worthy of your job, you're worthy of your family, of your friends, and just saying some good things about me and changing the way I look at myself and my day. More positive and just trying to quiet some things down and not let the outside world just penetrate so much.
You know, with you saying that, okay, I'll point out something that you were really the person to show me how much I do this. You told me I need to stop, even if it's in a joking kind of way, telling myself that I'm such a hot mess. Because I've been saying for years that I'm the hot mess express, that I'm silly, that I'm crazy, that I'm all of these things. But honestly, when you boil it down, I'm just super driven and I'm positive and excited. So how have you cut that out of your life? Or, you know, you've done that too, right? You've changed the way you say it to yourself.
I have. I've changed the whole vernacular, the way my self-talk. I've changed that completely. I would also say, gee, I'm having a hot mess of a day. I look like a hot mess today. I look like a wreck, blah, blah, blah. That's wrong. I should not be saying that about myself. So I've changed how I say that. Because I feel like if I'm going out, even just in our circle, when you and I are talking, I was doing that a lot. And even though I know you know me, but there's some people who don't. And when I go out there and say, I'm sorry, I'm just such a hot mess, or I'm sorry, I'm all over the place, I'm already telling them what a wreck I am.
Yeah.
And I don't allow them to formulate their own opinion. I'm giving them an opinion.
Yeah, you're telling them what to think of you.
Right. And I don't think that's a good idea. Because I don't feel that way. But I think we say that in jest sometimes, you know, when our day's not going the way it should, or our hair doesn't look the way it should. But that's okay. We shouldn't go out in public and say, I'm a wreck, I'm a hot mess, I'm all over the place. And we're also, when we're saying that, we're also giving ourselves a subconscious message too.
Yes.
We're giving ourselves that subconscious message that I am a hot mess, I am a wreck, I am all over the place.
Yeah.
That's the wrong message I want to be sending to myself.
Oh, absolutely. So I think you and I both. But we're changing it, so it's good.
Yes.
I mean, we're doing a really bang-up job, I feel, on being nicer to ourselves because we have the most self-deprecating humor of any people we probably are around.
Exactly. Yeah.
No one is meaner to us than we are to ourselves. And I think we both agreed that we would never be friends with a person that talked to us the way we talk to ourselves.
No, we would not. You would run from that person.
Absolutely.
And you would run away. You'd be like, oh, I can handle this. This is too much for me. You know, and so why are we doing it to ourselves?
Yep.
Why are we doing that to ourselves? And then you do it a lot. I also do it a lot. But I've stopped doing that. I have completely stopped doing it. It's completely out of my vocabulary now. And I know it's changed the way I feel on the inside.
Me too.
It has changed. It's only been a couple of days that I've been getting up first thing in the morning and looking myself directly and pointing at myself. You are together. You're strong emotionally, mentally, physically. You're worthy of this job that you have. You're going to kill it today. Go out and give it 100%. You can do this.
Yep. And we've even, not as much, very few times, but we've still caught ourselves trying to say something and then course correcting very quickly.
Absolutely.
So I'm proud of us, girl. We're doing this thing.
We are doing it. And it's changed the way I view a lot of things.
Yep.
It's changed my complete mental image of myself. It's changed my image of the world around me.
Yeah.
Completely changed the world around me.
Yeah.
The way I view that and the way I feel about it every day.
Yeah.
I have more energy during the day because I'm not constantly focusing on negative stuff. And it's fueling me.
I do think that. I think that not allowing yourself to talk about yourself in that way, it almost takes away the permission for you to try to judge and talk about other people as well. When you stop that just train of constant negativity, then your eyes open to what is possible and just the positive.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I see things about you that you don't see about yourself. And I think I tell you this all the time. And I think we have other people that see things about me that I don't see about me. But I'm starting to see those things about me because I'm starting to say those things about me.
Absolutely. Girl, I'm so glad because I'm telling you, you can speak life into a person like no one else. You guys, if you need someone in your life that's going to hype you up, you better meet my friend Robin because she will do it. She'll have you believing that you can do absolutely anything.
And you can. And you can.
And you can.
And you can.
Now, it might take failing a few times. Just like I said on last week's episode, that anything worth doing is worth sucking at first. I can't believe I'm repeating the one sentence I was like, oh, I shouldn't have said that. But it's true.
It is true.
It's true.
And if you're going to fall, then fall forward.
Fall forward.
If you're going to fall, then we're all going to fall. At some point, we all fall. That's just life.
Yep.
But if you fall, or when you fall forward.
Absolutely.
That's what I'm doing. If you make a mistake, don't say, oh my gosh, and just don't chastise yourself for the whole day. I totally screwed that up. I did a wrong thing. Guess what? You're human.
Reset and start again. And that's on anything that you're doing in life. If it's a diet and you mess up one day, that doesn't mean, very next day, start back over. If it's, moving towards a life of positivity and affirmations and you forget to do it, just do it when you remember.
Exactly.
Whatever you're going for, just keep going.
And when you look at yourself in the mirror every morning, I started this new routine where I get up first thing, excuse me, and I immediately look at myself in the mirror. And do I look gorgeous? I do not. I just crawled out of bed.
Yes, you do.
I just crawled out of bed. But I'm telling myself, girl, you got this together. Today's your day. You're strong. You're confident. You're mentally and emotionally together. You got this.
Got it.
And I'm like, I give myself a little wink, and then I move on with my day.
Now, there is one thing that you gave me advice on that I haven't adopted yet. I want to. We'll get into what your actual routine and how early it is that you get up. But sometimes if I have to be somewhere at 7 a.m., that I'm waking up at 6 a.m. and just scrambling for 30 minutes to get out the door. But one thing that you do is before you step foot out of the door, you're ready from head to toe, right?
I am.
Now, what's your thought process behind that of not walking out of the door ill-prepared or not ready?
I don't want to do that because when I get out into the world, I want the world to know I'm ready for them.
Yeah.
Whatever that is. I want the world to see me as confident and put together. And I think if I go out of here looking like a mess, they're not going to, I'm going to project an image that I don't want.
Yeah.
I want to get up, show up, and dress up every day.
It's like what they taught us in elementary school. You got to dress for success.
Exactly. And that's what even if I'm just going to Walmart and I'm wearing yoga pants and a shirt, I want it to be the best looking pair of yoga pants and shirt I have. I want my hair to look nice. Because you don't know what's out there. And I don't want to give the world the idea that I'm just a sloppy mess.
Yeah.
Because I'm not a sloppy mess.
And see, that's what I want to go through. I need to go through my wardrobe because I would rather at this point, for multiple reasons, but just have those 5 outfits, whatever they are, that are the best of what they are, than to wear something dingy and outdated or that I just don't love. But I mean, that's a whole different topic, but you just took me there when you said about the yoga pants and the shirt. So what about, let's go ahead and get into what your schedule is, because you guys, she's one of them light sleepers. Is that what they call it? Short sleepers.
Short sleeper. I'm a short sleeper.
Okay, let's talk about your schedule and how you run your day.
I get up every morning at 2:45, between 2:45 and 3 a.m. every day. Even if I only have to be someplace at 9 o'clock, I'm still up. I get up, I do my positive affirmation things, I take care of me. I shower, I take care of me. I do my time on the treadmill. Exercise is super important for your overall attitude about everything and your mental health, I do believe. I do my 5 miles on the treadmill. I shower, I dress, I grab some breakfast, and I'm ready to meet the day. I'm ready to meet the day. I have taken care of me first thing in the morning so I can take care of whatever happens that day. I'm ready for it.
And you've also adopted the not having your phone right beside you at night as well.
I have. I was absolutely, like most people, most of us are, chained, and we're slave to our cell phones. Mm-hmm. We have to know the instant anything happens, we have to know about it all the time. Mm-hmm. And it was consuming it was consuming a lot of my life.
Yeah.
And I found myself hours scrolling on the phone, looking at stuff that was not beneficial to me, that wasn't even my business. So I decided to unchain myself from my cell phone. I allow myself only a few hours a day, non-working time, for social media. I stop sleeping with my phone in my room at night. I move it to another part of the house so I'm not listening to notifications ding and go off, because that was interruptive to my sleep. Subconsciously, I knew it was happening. Mm-hmm. And I know that my life is so much better because of it. I can put the phone down and walk off and not have a panic attack.
Yeah.
I have completely unchained myself to my cell phone, and it was the best thing I ever did.
Wow. So I'm trying to get there. Okay, let me just tell you this, though. There is not a single fiber of my being that wants to wake up at 2:45 to 3 o'clock. I don't want that, but I would not mind being a 5 a.m. riser. I don't even want the 4 a.m. I want maybe the 5 a.m. riser. But I am trying to divorce my phone a little bit as well. Would have a little breakup, a little separation. Now, what I find, though, is I have a lot of people that it's hard for them if I'm not automatically available to them. So what are your thoughts on that? Like, we have gotten to an age where people expect you to just be ready and available to them at any time. So what's your thoughts?
That's true. I have actually, and I was that person. If I felt like if I didn't text you immediately right back, that you were having bad thoughts about me. Oh, she's ghosting me, or I'm not important to her, or whatever. And I am a pretty quick responder. But this is what I tell people, and this is what I have been telling people. My phone is actually monitored from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. From 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Uh-huh. My phone is monitored. After that, unless it's an emergency.
You may or may not get me.
Right, you will not get me. I cut my phone down at 7 o'clock. That's my evening time to wind down.
Yeah.
I monitor my phone from 7 a.m. until 7 p.m. Unless it's an emergency. And if you have an emergency, then you have another way to get in touch with me.
Yeah.
I'll call you in the morning. I'll text you in the morning.
So, I guess I need to establish that, but I put some blame on myself as well, because I am horrible sometimes when I could get back to people. Say if I'm doing something, I see the text come through, I don't acknowledge it, and then I'll plan to, but then I forget to even get back with them. So people probably really do think that I'm ghosting them sometimes, and then 3 days later I'm like, oh hey, I saw that, but sorry I didn't get back to you. So I should work on that some. But yeah, I don't like the idea of anyone unless it's your employer or
that's a whole different thing.
Your immediate family. But,
right.
I'm trying to get away from my phone just a little bit. Because I've heard that for the first 30 minutes of your day, do not touch your phone.
Exactly.
Because
I do not for the first hour.
You're letting the world's problems in before you've even figured out how you feel for the day.
Exactly. And it colors your day. Or let me say it colored my day.
Yeah.
So I don't even get on my phone for the first 2 hours of the morning.
Yeah.
I get up, I do my affirmations, I have my coffee, get myself started. I take care of my daily devotional things that I do. Mm-hmm. My phone is 2, sometimes 3 hours before I'll pick it up in the morning.
Is it 1 to 2 to 3?
Yeah, it can be.
Your
right, because I'm going to take care of me. I'm going to do what I need to do, and I'm going to get myself set up for a good day.
Yeah.
I'm setting Robin up for a good day every morning. That's my plan.
And
when
that's
I get up, I'm saying I'm saying to myself, I am setting you up. I'm building a foundation today to set you up for a great day.
Yep.
And that's super important.
Now, neither of us have small children, but for those that are listening out there, I mean, even if you have small children and your morning is bananas because you're trying to do breakfast and you're trying to do lunches and you're getting people out the door, I would highly suggest wake up just a tiny bit earlier, because if you did set yourself up for the day before you hear your kids screaming, it's gonna make for a better morning for you and for them.
You're gonna handle that so much better.
Yeah.
When you can take care of yourself, you hear this all the time. If you're on an airplane and something happens, put the oxygen mask on yourself first, then the people that you love, then take care of them, because you can't take care of them unless you're taking care of you.
Absolutely.
And although I'm not married and I don't have children, but I have other people that depend on me, and they depend on me to be there and show up for them.
Yep.
So if I'm going to show up for my job and show up for my friends and show up for my family, then I need to set myself up to a good foundation to be able to do that.
Yes, agreed. Absolutely. Now, we've talked about the affirmations. Let's talk a little bit about the actual manifestation, manifesting things into your life. Are you a believer that you can manifest things into your life?
I am, in a certain sense. I do believe that if you get up every morning and you expect to have a bad day, you will never be disappointed. I do believe in that.
Correct.
Absolutely. I'm a very prayerful person. I'm a very spiritual person. So prayer is a big thing for me. But as far as actual manifesting things, I guess you could say that I am, because I get a visual image of what I need to have happen or I want to have happen, and I play it out in my head. So with that visual image that I have, I built a new home recently, and that was part of the manifestation. I moved from a home in Harris County for family reasons. I needed to get closer into town, and I knew the area of town that I wanted to be in, and I knew what my house wanted to look like, and so I had all that in my head, and I wrote it down, and I focused on it every day. I talked about it to myself every day. I did self-talk about it, and I have the home that I want in the area that I wanted. So yes, I guess you're of the answer. I said all that to say yes. Okay. I think it's a two-part for me, though, for sure.
I definitely believe in it, but I think, like what you said, you're still doing all of the actions that it requires for what you're manifesting to come through. So I'd like to look more into the subject and talk on it more and hear from some people that have really, if you have done this in your own life or for your business, if you feel like you truly manifested something into your life, please give me a call, give me a text. I want to talk to you about it. 706-505-5083. You can hit me up anytime and let me know about it, or message me on a Raven in Real Life page. But it's almost like your manifestations are your goals, and you write them down and you focus on them and you really meditate on them.
I do.
And you can make anything happen.
I marinate them. I marry them with other things. I have a clear direction that I want to go in, and I know how to get there. So I just visualize that. I visualize the fact that this is where I want to be and this is how I want to get there, and I actually, in my mind, see myself doing it. Okay.
Now, I like what you just said, direction. You did just say direction, correct? I didn't make that up in my
Right.
Okay. Because you also talked me through something before, and that was how sometimes when we're going our direction, we get these clear signs, these clear stop signs, or these clear roadblocks, and we ignore and we ignore and we ignore, and then life eventually forces you another direction. So what's your advice, or what do you think, like, how can you tell when you're getting those that sign from the universe that you're not going the right direction?
I'm a very willful person. I'm very willful, as you know, and I want it my way. Of course, I think we all do. But there have been several times in my life when I have gone after something or wanted something, and I keep pushing for it and keep pushing for it, and something keeps happening. It wasn't the right timing, or somebody fell ill, or something happened that stopped me from getting to the next step. And knowing me, as willful as I am, I keep pushing and keep pushing. And eventually, because I am hard-headed and willful, something will eventually click in my head that says, this is not what you're supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
And then I look back and think of all the roadblocks that were put in front of me that I'm trying to jump over like a hurdler because I want my way and I want my will, and it's not working. and there's at least one thing I have learned. Sometimes you have to just sit still and be quiet. Just sit really still and be really quiet and think about what it is that you're needing or that you're wanting. And see, the path will open up for you.
Yeah.
But if you're willful like I am,
Yeah, and myself as well.
I'm gonna throw all kind of stuff out there,
Oh Lord!
and it's not gonna work because it's not gonna. If it's not meant for you, it's not gonna work out for you.
You know what I've noticed about you and I? If I look back over what have we known each other 3-4 years now?
Yep.
So everything that we have either wanted or that we have thought that we wanted, when we think that we want it, but we continue to get these roadblocks. And you guys, I'm telling you, it could be on the way to do the thing. And on the way, you're going to have a tire blowout one day, and then you wake up sick the next morning, and something always stops you from going.
It does.
But when we make it to our location, and I'm speaking in general, this could be anything that we have attempted or been part of or whatever. If it was something where we were getting those signs from the universe that this isn't for you, even when we got to our destination, we were not as driven and doing the things that we typically do as the go-getters that we usually are. So we probably knew it ourselves the whole time that it wasn't really right, but we just ignored it and ignored ourselves.
Because we're willful.
Yeah.
Because that's what we decided we wanted, or that's what we decided we wanted to be.
Yeah.
And we were hell-bent to election to get there, regardless of all the signs saying this is not where you're supposed to be.
Yeah, yeah.
And usually it doesn't work out.
Yes.
It doesn't work out.
Yes. You guys know that plenty of times I've talked about through different things that I've done that my ultimate goal in life was that I wanted to be this big travel and food vlogger. But maybe sometimes you don't want to be the travel and food vlogger. You just want to travel and eat food. You don't necessarily want to be the person pushing all the buttons and making all of the things happen. And apply that to whatever in your life that you're working towards is. And that's what I mean. Okay. What else? Are you having any thoughts that you really want to speak on right now before I ask another question?
Excuse me, I'm sorry. I basically just want to say that, like I said, with all the noise that's going on and everybody's so critical of every single thing, find yourself a squad of people. Maybe it's just one person in your circle, your family, your neighbor, your spouse, whomever, and get this person to get on a positive train with you. Get this person to say one good positive thing about you a day, and then you repeat that good positive thing about yourself. And I promise you, in 24 to 48 hours, you're going to feel so different about you.
She's not lying. It works.
It does.
It works.
It does.
Oh, okay. See, I'm glad that you said that because that brought me into something before I kind of veer onto a different topic. What would you tell people who do want something? They do feel driven. They do feel like the right doors are opening and that the universe is pushing them that direction. But their mama or their husband or their wife or their kids or friends, everyone else is being negative towards them or not supportive. What's your advice to that person?
I would tell them, if you absolutely feel in your heart of hearts and your soul that this is a thing for you, the job for you, the place for you, the move for you, the spouse for you, whatever it is, don't let the negativity sway you from that. Sometimes people can't go where you go. It's not their journey, it's yours. And it's nice that people can be supportive, but what I would tell people, and I've had people in my life, I just tell them, okay, I understand you disagree. I understand that you don't think this is a good thing for me to do. I appreciate your opinion. I appreciate you giving it to me. But please know that I feel very convicted to pursue this. I would appreciate your support, but I understand if you can't get on board. And keep pushing and keep moving.
You know what that tells me from the other side, though? That if you are that friend or that person who you don't see it for someone else, but they say they're going to continue, they appreciate your advice, stop.
Exactly.
Stop trying to discourage them.
Exactly. And move on.
Yeah.
And if you can't be happy and you can't be encouraging, then just be quiet.
Yeah.
Just be quiet. Because we don't all understand each other's journey or the right path to get there. None of us know exactly the path we should take for anything.
Yeah.
It's trial and error for all of us about everything. And if we had all the answers, gee, none of us would be sitting here doing this if we had all the answers.
Yeah.
So if it's not your journey, it's okay. It's okay that it's not everybody's journey.
That's right.
It's fine.
That is right. Not everybody wants to do the same thing. Not everyone's going to go that same path. But I would say if they can't stop trying to sway you away from what you want,
move away.
Maybe sway away from them.
Right, move away. And there's nothing wrong with moving away if that's what you need to do to better yourself, to get on with where you need to get on to. If you have to just step aside for a while and say, you know what, I need to step back for a minute.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that. And continuing doing what you need to do for you.
Absolutely. I got to say, the best kind of friends in my life are those people that I can basically disappear from for 3-4 months. Not necessarily on purpose, but Right, but when we talk again, it's like we never even stopped.
Exactly.
It's the best kind of relationship. All right, let's see. Okay, so there's something that I heard about recently, and I just don't know if you've ever even heard about this. So I just wanted to bring it up today because I'm going to be looking into it over the next week. Have you ever heard that, let's just say you have a problem in your life that you can't figure out, and this problem could be anything, work-related, relationship-related, life, whatever, that before you go to bed, if you meditate on it and you think of it and you just try to bury it deep into your brain, that once your brain hits that certain, or once your sleep hits a certain sleep pattern, that your brain will figure it out for you and that you will get your answers that you're looking for. Now, when I say that, I don't know if it's going to be somebody in your dream saying this is your answer, or if it'll just become so clear to you. But you've heard of this?
I have heard of this.
Have you ever done this?
I have done it.
Has it worked for you?
It has. I keep a little notepad and pen on my nightstand so that when that does happen, I can write it down. So I'll be sure to remember it in the morning.
And that's what I was told too, that if you ever wake up and you're confused or whatever, if any thoughts that's coming out when you wake up, go ahead and write that down related to that.
I do. I write it down so that in the morning when I'm fully conscious, I can look back at that notepad and say, oh, I clearly see now what I should be doing or what this is going to be. I have done that often with all kinds of things. I did it just recently with something, and and I think about it, drift off to sleep, and basically what I do when I do it is I play a tune, something at 40 megahertz. You can find all kinds of things online, noise, sounds at 40 megahertz, because it gets deep within the brain, the neurons, and it stimulates your neurons. So I listen to that, and it soothes you to sleep, but it keeps whatever it is that I'm thinking about or needing to correct or find a solution to.
Yeah.
It just somehow, I can't explain it, but it somehow works.
That's what I was being told the other day. They were saying that you, I can't, not necessarily about the sound, but that your subconscious is working on your problem
even when you're asleep.
While you're asleep.
Your subconscious is continuously working. Even when we're in REM sleep, our subconscious is busy.
I'm about to look all into that. And as far as the noises go, I'll have to look. There's certain noises I love, and some drive me crazy.
Right.
I could go to sleep to the sound of big fat summer rain. You know what I mean? Like rain on tin roof.
Big drops.
But the hard rain I don't like. I love the sound of a snowstorm. What's your favorite of the sounds? What would you recommend?
I have a sleep machine. It has 40 different sounds on there.
Oh, nice.
And I sleep to one of two things. Either a thunderstorm, which is that rain, but thunder kind of way off in a distant sound.
Yes.
So nice.
Yes.
And then I listen to ocean waves. The next one I kind of rotate it every other night. So the next one that I really enjoy is the sound of ocean waves.
I've heard one when I was in a spa once getting a facial. They were playing bird sounds. It was, you should see the look she just gave me. She just gave me a look like I just grew a second head.
I don't think I could listen to tweeting all night long.
Oh my goodness. That was the closest I got to dozing off. But I guess everybody, you can find your own sound, because even now, I always knew that there was white noise, but there's pink noise, there's gray noise, there's brown noise. Go listen to the different noises and see what your brain likes, because some people get a brain tingle when they listen to these noises. Yeah,
it's got something to do with that ASMR type stuff. Yeah. I have a friend that does that a lot. She's really into ASMR, but I don't want somebody whispering to me all night long. I don't think I could do it.
I do not like the sound of whispering.
Yeah, it's not my thing either.
Well, girl, if you had about 10 seconds to give a final message to someone out there that's going through any sort of struggle, what would you tell them?
I would tell you tomorrow morning when you wake up, whoever you are, look at yourself in the mirror and tell yourself that you are absolutely freaking awesome and you're killing it. Whatever it is in your life that's got you bummed out, you can handle it. You can handle it. Just tell yourself that you can, and you can.
Yes. And until next time, guys, I'm Raven, and this was the Raven in Real Life radio show and podcast.
Hello, I'm Pina Payne with